Okay, we are on. We are live. What is going on, Fight fans? Overwatch action. You know what it is. It's the International Overwatch League Season 6, Week number 7, a Tier 2 matchup for you guys in this one. Surge Imperium facing off against Charlie's Cherubs. As always, I am your host on this one, Super Rondo Uno, the best damn Lucio you've ever seen. And I've got a special guest joining me on his rookie debut of the casting team for the International Overwatch League. You know what? Go ahead and introduce yourself. Alright. Alright, as I'm getting from people watching, so thank you for that. You guys cannot hear my co-host, so give me just a quick second and I will correct that issue, and then we'll get into Overwatch action. Yep.
Sweet, I can actually be heard by, I hope. I guess I'll take two reintroduction. Hey guys, my name's Kioner. Glad to be alongside Rondo today for the Tier 2 matchup. You may hopefully see me in more matches. However, today this is going to be my debut. Take 2 always works out better than Take 1, considering you may be able to hear me now, but I'm glad to be in IOWL, and I'm really looking forward to today casting alongside Mr. Super Rondo Uno, the best Lucio. I can't check that. I'm just gonna have to take your word. So, can't really.
Yep, you're gonna take my word. Indeed, you guys will see me play later on in the season as you've seen before. But as I've mentioned, it's a Tier 2 matchup. The Surge Imperium taking on Charlie's Cherubs. It is second place versus 6 in this one for Group B of Tier 2. Ooh. Charlie's Cherubs comes into this matchup with a record of 3-0-2. Surge Imperium coming in with a record of 0-0-5. So Surge still looking for that illustrious W, and would not a better chance to get it than against a top team in a league, especially for this division. So we've got 5 map pools. You guys know the rules always. It's a best of 5 matchup. No holds bars. As you guys can see, if you are currently watching, no bench. The 6 you see is the 6 you're going to get. It's an all-out 6v6 battle. We're going to hit with our first map, which is Lijiang Tower. I have already got the ready up from both captains and both sides, and we're just going to jump right into it. Let's boogie.
Let's get down to the down. I'm also hoping to see, because obviously, with being a rookie, I have never seen any team, so I was right, 200 ping. Well, this is gonna go well. But here we go, 15 seconds. I'm seriously hoping the first time I cast that Surge can bring out their first dub of the season. That would be just the story of a lifetime. And I'm also looking forward to saying no substitutions, because it makes our job a lot easier just to cast what is in front of us for the entire duration. And we see Symmetra.
Definitely.
Symmetra times 2.
And as you heard from my co-host, it is EU versus NA. So maybe we're gonna see a little bit of advantage here. This first map, Surge won the coin toss. They get the servers on this first map. Rolling out with the Symmetra Torb, the classic Ryan Zarya, and Mercy Bap for the support line.
2, 1.
And Roti Cherubs opting for a Symmetra jump, and with a hog as well. Kinda, I think, close quarters damage-wise. Both TPs up at the same time, and here we go into the action. Pressure boot off! Okay. Hey,
Hey, you know, you said it. Both TPs right onto the point, and just going to fight action right in the middle, going right at it.
And there's the damage.
You know, point.
Damage from Royalty kind of just overwhelming. Wow, quick.
It looks like no server, no problem so far for Charlie's Cherubs. They're going to cap the first point quite easily. But hey, capping's one thing. It's a race to 99 after that.
Yep, race to 99 and a 100 immediately after, because as we all know, first point I think is the key advantage. And considering the fact that Engineer has 60 on his ult already, Molten Core could prove really early on winning the first fight. Starfield gonna get hooked out by Goose. An initial pick, and that's a 5v6 at the point.
Yeah, very early pick there, especially when you're playing down the numbers. It's really tough to kind of get the advantage here.
Yep, too much damage. Curtis, and yep, just constant damage. Danny and Sark just going in. Junk with a 3k to his name, and that's going to be another reset.
Yeah, with a great hold there by Charlie's Cherubs, you know, and again, early on, it really, especially with these point control maps, it's all about positioning and momentum, and on the other side, stopping momentum.
Especially with the Goose kind of holding this front line, waiting to get that hook. Any pick for Cherubs Angels, or yeah, Charlie's Angels. I said Charlie's Cherubs. There we go. That's better. Is definitely worth it. Middle gonna use self-destruct. Not gonna be able to get any value. Gonna have to retreat out, but Symmetra Jug too much damage, and Engineer's gonna go down quickly. So another real time loss. Not many ults. No ults really for Surge to go into this next fight with 80%.
Yeah, you're sitting on a Torb ult. Hammer's almost there, but nothing close. Meanwhile, defensively, Charlie's got 5.
Yep.
We'll make it 4 now.
But the big one being Reptire, because with no Starfire, no quests, they're gonna have no hope to do with this. Engineer gonna go with the Molten Core. Already gonna fall with HP. There goes 3 ults and 1 Charlie's Cherubs. No, it's just right there.
There's the tire.
Environmental on the Lily, which may open up with no questions, however. I think the damage is dealt. Starfield with Reptire. Gonna get killed off by Danny, and with no usage.
And then there was a Moira, but it's gone. And a team kill for Charlie Cherubs to clutch the win. First point goes to Charlie's Cherubs.
That would be quick.
Again, best of 5 overall, but best of 3 in this one.
Imagine if Overwatch came out with control maps that if you won one, the game was done. That would be so quick and efficient. Unfortunately,
I'd feel about that.
unfortunately, we're stuck with delayed contesting, but that's the game. And Goose gonna stay over on Hog. Middle though, opting for Sigma. Bit of an interesting strategy. Hog Sig. And Starfield gonna be going on over to Farah with no Mercy Pocket though. So Farah gets Junk Sim relatively easy to deal with. But it's the
Oh, and that's
what
a
just
terrible
happened?
way to start. Engineer Boy just falls off trying to take a shortcut.
Did he try to go right?
Allows Charlie's Cherub to grab early position, and that's a real bad disadvantage for Surge there.
Although, as I said, they're already racking up huge amounts of bulk charge. Already 40. However, Sark got a slight pressure. The line shield, unfortunately, going to drop for 1 second. That's going to be an initial pick. Surge, a rack kind of out of position, and an unfortunate reset going to be needed here. With Engineer falling early last fight. Or not even fight, just falling.
Yeah, Surge is gonna have to get a hard group up here. It's still early. Again, it's only the first cap. It's only 20%. It's a race to 99. No need to panic just yet. But they've got to come together. And it starts with 1 pick.
Yep, 1 pick can open it up a bit like that. Engineer, unfortunately, again, gonna get killed off by middle on the Sigma. And now, again, ironically, Charlie's Cherubs are applying the pressure on the pressure. And to deal much healing is a huge aspect here with the Rag just having to take so much damage. But a good amount of ults going to come through here. Lessons from Lily to secure a lot of healing. That is almost 10, but again, Surge kind of staggered out. Ping on their side, unfortunately, constantly getting picked off. There's another pressure gonna fall to the Sark with Goose's hook.
This will restore
They're
you.
gonna back out. He's in danger of getting hooked here, system. Nice.
Yeah, you know, Charlie's Sheriff, they're doing an absolute great job at point control. You know, they're never allowing themselves to get picked off. They seem to be staying as a unit. Surge a little bit erratic here. I would like to see more organization. Well, maybe it starts with this tire here.
Return gonna get two.
Oh, Grid's 2. That could be it.
Well, with Stuck Fire, there's no support on for Charlie's Cherubs, but Kratos is gonna fall. Pressure is up the middle, however. Surge do have the point under control by the looks of it. Coming up from 95, pressure is gonna fall. It's just death.
Now here's the tire from the other side.
Riptire gonna get big Starfield. Coming here with Barrage. Stuck Fire prematurely.
Oh, but you've got to touch the
Unable
point.
to touch, Barrage locks it in place, and Charlie's Cherubs 2-0 sweep quickly first map. That's a bit of an upset. I think playing the point was definitely the advantage. Just a high damage output, shredded through.
Right here.
That's one.
As always, take out some points first, take out the tank. Maybe check the DPS for good measure.
That's 3K. Yeah, because look at that. Iraq blocked 15.7k damage nearly in 5 minutes 40. That is 3,000 damage a minute, which is ridiculous considering that is just one Reinhardt.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a catch-22. It's like you're blocking that much damage, but then on the flip side is you're also taking in that much damage.
And maybe not being able to deal it out may be a bit of the downside for Surge's last map there, but moving into second map, 1-0 to Charlie's Cherubs at the moment. We'll see if that can turn around, even though it's on EU ping next map.
Yeah, next map's EU ping indeed. But you're changing the style. We're going to a hybrid map. Map 2 is Blizzard World. Maybe the style gameplay switches. As always, I don't even have to even ask the captains about switches because they've got no subs. It's full 6 right here.
It really does make your job a lot easier, just knowing who you're casting, and knowing that if anyone DCs, we're screwed. It's great. It's honestly not a burden at all for anyone. So hopefully they are able to maintain this roster on both sides.
So for the asking of the score, it is currently 1-0. Charlie's Cherubs took the first map, which was Lijiang Tower. They sported a 1-0 lead in this best of 5. We are now heading to map number 2, Blizzard World. Also switching to the EU server. So I'm going to apologize early for our viewers. If the ping is bad on my side, I apologize. But hey, coin flips and rules are rules. Charlie's Cherubs being on the EU, they get the server advantage now.
Luckily, I will have ease spectating this entire match, but unfortunately I'm not the one streaming, so that's just how it goes. But obviously with EU and NA mixed teams, most of the time, same region goes up against the team from the same regions themselves. It's just one of those examples where different regions have different circumstances, so. But we should be getting
Indeed, well said. So,
thank you.
Yep, I am not going to ask for subs. I'm just going to ask for ready ups, and once I get it, we're going to be off to the races for map number 2.
Considering the fact that Charlie's Cherubs ran Sim that entire time, last point for control on Lijiang, do you think they're going to stick with Sim, or do you think they're going to go with a bit more hit scan characters, considering that we had Junk and Sim for the majority of last map?
So it's a little tough to answer just because the map does change. It's going to change your gameplay a little bit. I mean, I'm with you on the fact of that it wasn't working last round. Maybe we do need to switch something up. But the flip side is you have to remember, hybrid map, you got to control first and you got to push the payload. So at least for myself, I tend to pick a different character on the first attack, and once we get to the payload, I will switch. We'll see if they decide to do the same. But I've got the ready up from both sides, so let's get into map 2, which is which is Blizzard World. Lijiang Tower went to Charlie's Cherubs. Map 2, EU servers. Let's go.
I think as well, considering Engineer Boy played a pretty nasty damage dealer Torbjorn last map. I think we'd probably see that on the defensive side, considering Torb's damage output on attack and defense is surprisingly high compared to most DPS heroes in general. But we'll just have to see what each team runs, considering that this map is full of shenanigans and is full of exploitations, really.
Couldn't have said better myself. For those of you in the chat asking about other games getting casted, that'll be a question for the Discord. I believe this is the only one we've got on tap for tonight. Tomorrow, 2 games I know for a fact will be casted. But I'll say it now since you guys are watching. If you want your game to be casted, feel free to tag one of the casters. We're all over the league. If you absolutely want your game casted, get with your captains, get with the casters, get with the admins. We will find someone to cast your game if you want to be seen on primetime.
The word international is in the league's name, considering, well, it is international. However, Bastion is not international, and I want him gone now.
Alright, for my viewers, we're gonna sweat with Charlie's Cherubs. I'll give you guys third-person action. I understand my camera's been a little erratic, so I apologize for that.
This is a really high damage situation. Charlie's Cherubs takes Sim again immediately to left at that point. Engineer falling immediately to the Sim being built up. Star already on the ult charge. The damage might be built up. Start on the Sim, eradicating how the shield starts to get up. Goose is in the fall though. And honestly, it's looking like a very easy fight. One thing has to be given up. Goose is going to get resurrected. And the damage is done. Metal and Sark really beaming through everyone on Surge there, and Engineer, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a very quick cap by Charlie's Cherubs there. I mean, an absolute steamroll. There's no other way to put it.
I'm kind of surprised they did run the Sim, but the fact is, it really worked. I've never seen TP taken directly to the left, considering it opens up so many bad scenarios where they somehow, well, if Surge had held the point, Charlie's Cherubs were in deep trouble with the amount of damage they have to offer with Bastion and Soldier. Speaking of Soldier 76, here comes Pfizer with damage boost. Star is going to get focused down with no value, however. It's going to keep most of Charlie's back.
Yeah, so Charlie's Cherub just absolutely moving this payload with little to no contention. Surge has got to buckle down here.
Star and Engineer both on the flank, unfortunately. Literally, the amount of damage that Charlie's Cherubs are dealing, 6 minutes on the clock. That is the first I think I've ever seen. That is a surprisingly quick catch.
That is definitely one of the fastest times I've seen in this week of this season so far.
And they have what, 4 ults?
So I'll ask you, if you're Surge right now, you're in the comment, what are you telling your team? You got to figure something out.
Well, considering the fact that Star's over back on the junk, I think the main issue here is the amount of space that they're letting away. Cherubs is just able to get away with so much. Like Ash and Sim taking high ground. The only one that's able to pressure them is Winston. Self-destruct in the back, gonna get credit. And unfortunately, the amount of damage Cherubs have on offer compared to the shield and the strength of Surge's shield are getting penetrated so easily. The damage from Lily, damage from Stick Danny, and Stark, middle with constant pressure with Orisa, I'd probably be screaming, get a Reinhardt, because the shield on Orisa is getting eviscerated. And with Winston, unfortunately, Arakish is not really able to do much. Engineer is going to get a good pick on the Danny. Bong's going to go down for Luna, and now this is really the last stand for Surge in this round. If they can hold it here, they can hold it for a while. Unfortunately, middle just dealing so much damage. Primal coming in from Fabio with the nano boost as well. Maybe he could have cleared space. But with the amount of damage, he's going to fall anyway.
Yeah, it is not looking pretty for Surge. Charlie's Cherub just an absolute unit. But hey, look, a little bit of a stonewall here. So I mean, 4 minutes is a lot of time, but
Self-destruct killing both DPS pressure. Not gonna get the res. Danny gonna shut down. And that is 4 minutes 13 half.
4 minutes 13 seconds. That's a lot of time on the clock for a full push. I've always said going first might be slight of advantage because you set the bar and put on the pressure. That is a lot of pressure now for Surge to match.
The amount, like, obviously, whenever you think of tanks, you always think close quarter characters have to be right in front of the enemy to hit them, apart from, you know, the occasional. Hog and Orisa are basically the only two, I would say, because D.Va can't do much ranged. But Middle's Orisa, just targeting down any units, Sark's damage beams through the shield of Luna, and then Middle just somehow starts beaming people to death. I think it's just the amount of damage that Cherubs are able to deal that Surge aren't able really to contest.
Observe the barrier.
Even with, what, did they have Mercy Anna? They had Mercy Anna heals.
I believe so. They ran the Mercy Anna on heals.
Yeah, they still couldn't, even with, like, I would probably say one of the highest healing outputs in the game, the amount of damage from damage resistant Sark, Metal, and Danny combined with Goose also diving onto targets, just too much pressure, and they create a lot of space. It was a very well executed push from Cherubs.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, and for those of you watching, if you're not already, make sure to favorite and like the channel. Be up to date whenever we are streaming more International Overwatch League. Currently at 418, trying to hit our next goal of 450. Enjoy you guys being there, but by all means, like the stream as we get into round 2 of this action. Let's sweat with Surge this time.
I'll just quickly drop a follow just to promote that, because I hadn't done that yet. So, there you go, one more closer. 420 is the real goal, I think.
Hey!
That's a funny number. Anyway, back to the match, and already Kevin Danny immediately getting a pick on the Starfield with Bastion Echo. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's partially of, you know, we got steamrolled last time, did not put out a lot of damage, so let's get a little, you know, glitchy, let's get a little toxic, but we gotta change something up. That's the best I could think of.
Yeah, and as well as that, like, somehow Goose is on 77 ult charge to self-destruct already. Like, not even playing close, Waffles just sitting right behind him, letting him do the damage from range. Danny on top of damage just melting a rack at 2 headshots. And it looks like Luna has opted to go over onto the Hog instead of the Orisa. But again, so much damage with no cover. Engineer and Kretos are gonna get taken out. How do you pronounce it? Kretos? Kretos, I think. I have to get these guys. But yeah, honestly, there's so much damage. Starfield and Engineer both switching again.
Well, and there's that D.Va bomb.
Killing Star.
Hey, one pick's better than no pick.
Wow. A little bit disrespectful, if anything. But I guess, again, it creates a barrier, also a time loss for Star to get back. Middle is sitting in the corner, trying to lure people into the sim charge. Honestly, quite a strategy, kind of scoring some wins. Lift's gonna go on to 3, and not gonna get any finishes, but a lot of Surge or low HP after 2 ults. Easier spawn.
Yeah, and this was brought up the last time I was streaming. Remember when Symmetra had 6 turrets?
Oh no, don't tell me. I remember, but I don't want to remember. I also remember when
her primary fire was auto aim.
Again, I don't want to remember, but yes, I do remember. It was the dark age of Overwatch, and yet we're still here. And somehow Waffles' character is just unchanged throughout the entire thing. Considering Soundfire is still such a good option. Kretos gonna use Zenyatta's Transcendence. Luna is gonna use Hawk. We're gonna get walked out of it by Metal. Seriously, I seriously think Metal is performing so well here. Applying so much pressure, just pushing into the backline. Cherubs tanks really getting aggressive here, but the DPS kind of taking the backline situation.
Yeah, Cherubs tanks both just, you kind of, oh my, it's right. But like you mentioned, you know, Cherubs tanks both Cherubs and middle just absolutely dominating point control, space control. I mean, it's essentially exactly what you want from your tank line.
A scientific miracle.
20 seconds here for Surge.
Yeah, I really think
You've got time for a group up, but it's got to be a well-organized push here.
And that's a good start. First gonna stagger engineer in the back line.
Oh, here's a
Look,
Kiva
gonna
bomb.
get two!
Oh!
Immortality can pick it up by Danny at the right time. Middle's gonna lift again for pressure and
it's not going to happen. That's going to go to Charlie Cherubs.
again a clean sweep. Seriously applying so much pressure that they are playing phenomenally.
Play of the game.
And here comes turret play of the game.
Sorry, Catastrophe. Car wash.
Wait, really? Are you really?
Double.
Okay, no, it's not just turrets. Thank goodness. Okay. I didn't half fall asleep, I just semi-fell asleep. Like, middle with 22, 2/3 in a kill streak in that whole match. That is how much pressure was applied, and Goose with 34 eliminations over that whole game inside 8 minutes, which is a ridiculous ratio.
Definitely. So, Charlie's Cherubs will take map number 2, sporting a strong 2-0 lead as we are heading into map 3. Now, we know there's no subs, but we are at the minimum changing side, so while we're in this pause, you know, I've got to ask you, so if you're Surge now sitting on an 0-2 deficit, your back's against the wall, what are you got no subs obviously, so what are you telling your group of 6 here on how to come out in this next match?
You forfeit. No, I'm kidding. I would probably, that's the pessimistic route, and no one should ever take that. I'd probably be saying, kind of morale boosting, I would say. It's always better to kind of lift spirits, to try and keep the drive forward. To be fair, like, second place, I believe, Cherubs are doing, like, they are second place in the group for a reason. They are performing seriously well with coordinated symmetric attacks, with huge amounts of pressure and healing, just to maintain. I would be saying to Surge, as long as you can maintain your supports in the back with tanks that can take that damage, that's all you need. Because with the picks that they have DPS-wise, I think it's been a bit of mystery here, as you've had Echo, Pharah, Torb, Bastion. You've had no actual hit scan. And even though at that, apart from Soldier 76, apart from that, at the moment, it seems that it may be better to get higher damaging units in, because playing with the comps that they have recently, it seems to not be working. So I'd probably say something along the lines of, like, get Ryan Zarya to block all the damage, and just get a pocketed soldier, or even an Ashe. Bit like what Charlie's Cherubs did on high ground on Blizzard in that last map. They contested the high ground, they rained down fire onto Surge, and they were able to contest it because of how much damage they were getting. So I think damage and keeping the supports up are the main two things that I would definitely be trying to keep up in this potentially last map, but on Junkertown.
Yeah, you know, I've got to agree with you. It's you definitely can't beat up yourself, like you mentioned. You know, they're Charlie's Cherubs. They're sitting in second place, you know, for a reason. And I want to say, I believe up until week 6 they were undefeated. I believe week 6 was their first loss in the season. So again, there's a reason why they're able to play this good. But the flip side is that, you know, you can't get down. And really, just in the International Overwatch League, we've seen comebacks before. You know, just because you're down 0-2 does not mean the game's over. It's a brand new map. It's 0-0 again. It starts on ground 1, and it starts here on Junkertown.
Now, obviously, we've seen, I'm correct in saying this, that Charlie Cherubs have ran Sark on the Symmetra every map. With Junkertown, do you really think it's possible to run it again, Rondo?
It's so tough because there's a lot of open space on Junkertown. You know, it's a very wide open map. So I mean, I would say it's not gonna work, but I've been proven wrong time and time again since as long as I've been doing this.
Yeah, I definitely think, considering I've seen before as well, a few random symmetric strats pulled off really well, and considering Sark's continuous, really, really strong performance over the last few maps, I think, honestly, I wouldn't put it out there that they go under the doorway, left side, out of spawn, and just TP straight into the high ground. Forget payload. They are after Surge's blood. Because what they have been doing has been so in their face with D.Va, with Sigma flanking, so much damage from DPS. I think they may just go for the 3-0 here.
Well, another silver lining is that Map 3 goes back to the NA servers. So you've got server advantage. You've got to use that to your benefit here. And it looks like I've got the Reddit from both captains. We already know no subs. Sides have been switched. Break has been given. Map 3, Charlie's Cherub 2-0. Looking for match point here. Surge is going to try to stop him at Junkertown.
And Kratos and Luna also swapping roles, I realized, in between the birth there.
Welcome to Junkertown.
Yep, so, you know, not a huge... A little bit, a slight sub. Maybe it changes up things a bit. Obviously, with a different character, maybe map preference. We'll see.
I would absolutely love to see if, like, all of a sudden Charlie's Cherubs are just like, right, guys, let's just run Winston, Ball, and just complete dive. But there we see again the same composition we've seen for the majority of this set of 5, well, set of 3 so far. However, there is one significant change, which is kind of confusing me. Middle on the Winston, on the defense. Are they?
I think this goes back to kind of like we were saying about there's a lot of open space. I'm sure they want to get more. I don't want to say more aggressive because we've seen them be aggressive. But I think it's more of range brawl, if that makes sense. Because obviously Goose is still on D.Va.
I think they're gonna hold the spawn door.
3, 2, 1.
Look at the.
That would be pretty ballsy.
Considering the position of their tanks and Junkrat kind of sitting a bit far forward, Goose taking a really weird off angle. With Middle just sitting there, may as well be eating a banana, I guess. Jumps in on the out of position. The engineer, his body
immediately just jumped the soldier.
Yep, his body was flying into the abyss.
It's a quick 6v5.
Middle is just in there. Engineer gets resurrected to the right hand side. They're gonna take that off angle, but Middle kinda taking a bit of a really aggressive approach, but somehow isn't dead. Okay, when there you go. Pressure gonna DPS down. That's going to be a bit of a boost forward for Middle. However, I do think the strategy should work, considering he's now on Wrecking 5. I said what's the Wrecking Ball, I didn't mean just switching. Riptire, what?
Riptire, that's a quick one.
Starfield in a minute, chasing the Junkrat, gonna get close to the line.
Oh, and nothing doing.
Danny shutting that down in one throw. Kratos gonna get back into mech, but already down half HP, and Starfield gonna get resurrected on the high ground. Jumping in aggressively, looking for a pick potentially, but unfortunately, with no supports. Self-destruct gonna go into the back line, only gonna get the immortality.
Gets the E-Mort.
Oh, two big picks there, although Luna's gonna go down. However, Middle and
okay, there's a little momentum for Surge, that's what you like to see. Keep the fight up.
That's one part of it off, but honestly, the two people that I have definitely said have been the strongest so far this game on the side of Charlie's are both dead, so Remac coming in for Kratos again. Both support options good for both teams, however, Riptire from Danny is ready, however, he's going to get taken out by Starfield. Well, Middle just in the back line, and this is overall a very sketchy fight. Bongo sitting in the middle.
It's a lot of back and forth. Not
Danny
much
looking
momentum
for
here.
This could be big. Nope, immortality.
Nope, it's good. We take out the Immort, nothing else.
It's just a broken ability. Like, it may as well be an ultimate. Kratos gonna get D-Macked, however, Lily and we're gonna pull an engineer. taking the flank at the right-hand side high ground. And that's going to be two really good picks to give Surge a little bit more momentum. Engineer really doing well here with a communicated constantly pushing forward, looking to D-Mac, and get the Goose D-Mac. Starfield going to take out Danny again. And Surge probably going to take
Surge showing some life here. I like that. That was an absolute great push. On .01, they don't give
they're actually
no easy points allowed in Overwatch.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
Meadows,
okay, well they got it.
Meadows' mind, not nearly mine. Trying to keep. Oh my god, that voice crack. Trying to keep most of Charlie's Cherubs off the point. Unfortunately, though, for Charlie, they are gonna pick up their first point. So Surge now with a bit more momentum and 2 ults coming up to the name of 3 minutes of the timer.
You know, and like we mentioned it prior to this stream, maybe the Luna to Credit switch that was a diamond in the rough.
Yep, well, Luna nearly gonna get turned down. Sark is gonna get taken out by that self-destruct. I think this game, Rondo, the main change is Sark is dying a lot more. Obviously, she can't really prevent that, but the damage definitely seems to be is decreasing for Charlie's Cherubs, considering the amount of space the Surge are actually taking out. Engineer and Danny gonna get traded off as well. One DPS to both sides. Middle now over on the second as well, I didn't even realize.
Yeah, and definitely I would say on this map, we're seeing a lot better targeting from Surge. You know, actually picking a target, committing to said target, and finishing it off as a unit, not just going on these 1v1 fights.
As well there, Goose actually was able to pick up the finisher on the credits before re-entering mech and allowed Goose to win the 1v1 to get back to help out Cherubs. Starfield is going to get taken out. Fabio kind of caught out with that wall and is going to get taken out quickly. Another left coming in for middle. That felt up so quick with Danny.
Oh, that was a huge Emor. Well placed there by Pressure.
Still, unfortunately, going to get taken out. Although,
Unfortunately, nothing doing. Yeah, Danny's going to take out
fire
too.
from Starfield. Actually, wow. You know what? He's dead and he didn't get any picks. But that ultimate may have just changed the entire tide of this game. Because that forced out both support ults for Charlie's Cherubs.
Yeah, speak well. They've still got Bap's window. Yep. No, I lied. I'm looking at the wrong side. I apologize for that.
I was wondering. Yeah, Sound Barrier and Valve both come for Charlie's Cherubs.
You're right. Only sitting with a Diva Bomb and a tire, so still a little dangerous, but nothing defensively.
Self-destruct going in early against the
which there it goes. Oh, that's triple. That's huge.
Immortality as well. And somehow it wasn't able to protect anyone. Surprising that Immortality didn't save anyone, and Fabio died there too. Considering Azari does have bubbles. Really well placed.
That is a momentum killer there.
Yep, regripping up, really everyone up top, looking for a point of advantage. Visor from Engineer kind of trying to open up, looking for the finisher, the Waffle's gonna get it. And now that's one down, 20 seconds left to go. To search to push it up. Engineer also gonna get Lily. Luna DPSing starts down.
Well, that's a huge grab there. You've got to capitalize.
Now it's just both tanks, middle and Goose. Both gonna get killed off, I think, here. With Waffles contesting point like a madman.
Lucio left to contest.
Waffles, the carbohydrates that can do it all. Seriously, Waffles is doing such a good job of contesting here. This is ridiculous. Lily flying over. Valk is online. This fight isn't over.
Oh, there's the tire.
Gets Luna out of Immortality.
That's a huge pick on Mercy there.
Self-destruct, only gonna get Danny. Middle with the 2 can live.
Oh, but it's not over.
It's just
We're
credits.
still going.
Credits against Cherubs. It's looking little down, unfortunately. Momentum gone. What a contest.
Sequence.
I gotta say that's one of the main Lucio abilities is just stall, absolutely stalling. Let your team get there and help you in the fight. But let's give a little praise to Surge here. That was a lot better outing than what we've seen recently. You know, that's a strong push. That's doable. You can win with that. That's a winnable effort there. Now you've got to buckle down and play defense. You have set the bar. You know where they have to achieve. You've got to stop them now.
I think as well that last like from that entire round, it realized that a lot of it came down to ult management there, because once both support ults were done there with one Riptire, they were just able to slowly let Royalty use their ults. Unfortunately, they didn't get to the second point, but were able to just use the momentum, getting a pick on the Waffles, a pick on the Lily, and then all that healing was gone for Royalty up until that final moment. So definitely, and somehow we see mirroring tanks. However, now we see a switch up of DPS finally coming out from Cherubs, with Danny on potential, I would say, definite pharmacy, and Sark over onto the Sombra.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
I don't think we've seen middle pull out a Zarya yet, so this is gonna be new.
That too, yeah, good point. Middle has mainly been, I think, a main dive kind of unit with Sigma flanking, Winston, Wrecking Ball, a little bit of Ryan in there too. Stark is going to get the hack on the Starfield, but he's going to get killed off quick because of that. Although I have realized one major flaw with Surge's game plan here. Who kills Pharmacy? So obviously,
You're absolutely right. They've got no hits yet. I mean, yeah, they've really got
D.Va.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And unfortunately, a lack of being able to shoot the skies when it's going to fall. However, Surge just going into the point. D-Mac and Goose are picking up 3 kills. Starfield already having the giant Indian wall ready to go. And Sark on Hanzo. So another switch up here. Sombra maybe not working as well as she wanted. Not gonna go over pressure, gonna get taken out again in the backline. Pharmacy raining death from above.
Yeah, Pharmacy just raining down havoc on the support line.
Oh! Starfield swung like a bug, and now Cherubs are on the move.
Clearing the board. Operating at maximum efficiency.
Yep, I must say as well, Danny has really been performing well. I haven't really said his name much, but his Junkrat has been really good, and so far Pharmacy proving very well with Nano Mirage ready to go for next fight. There's the wall coming in, and as I said, I'm gonna get taken out, so apparently Competitive Curse. Sweet.
Yeah, now like you mentioned that, we haven't said Danny's name much, and it's nothing to do with Danny's play. I think it's just more so to do that it's been overshadowed by the tank play.
Yeah. Middle especially, I think right now, for genuinely P, I think Engineers definitely been performed well. Everyone has been doing honestly very well. Although I think for me, it would probably be between Danny and Middle. I think, in my opinion. However, we do still have the remainder of this match, and we potentially have 2 more. So we'll just have to see what goes on here. Pharmacy in the back corner, looking for a barrage here. Credits trying to cover for it.
Well, there it is. And it's Lucian. Oh, finished off by Credits.
You know what? That has worked out in their favor. Pressure gonna use Coalescence. Just gonna use Self-Destruct. Gonna pick up 2.
Oh, the Panic Diva Bomb gets 2.
Although Middle with the Rabbit on thin air, not really gonna get much value. Litter back on Lucio as well, and now it's just a real scrap. Rematch of Waffle. 2 rematches in 1 match. Sun Barrier completed to try and cover the Sark's Dragon 3 points. Visor as well from Engineer, trying to clean out the remainder of Cherubs. Goose in the backline on cart. Gonna get staggered. Danny on Reaper now. Gonna take it out as well. The tides have turned.
Oh, now to accelerate. This is gonna make
30 seconds.
Surge absolutely stonewalling right now. You know, they subconsciously heard your advice when we were in the pregame lobby. Because they've almost to a T absolutely fouled it.
Wow, holy crap. Danny is gonna get taken out quick. Brennis is gonna come back to self-destruct here, but they need to be careful. Startu's gonna get taken out. Luna on great HP. Gonna get dropped by Lily.
And it's overtime.
Self-destruct.
Brennis has got a bomb. Here it comes.
Self-destruct. Oh, that's a huge shield from middle. Gonna negate all that damage. That could end the game. That shield well played, and now Cherubs are gonna push the first point with 2.5 minutes now to get it to map 3 and game winning point.
But if you're Surge, that was an absolutely incredible hold. It took them till overtime. Even though they did eventually get it, you've got to be feeling good right now. You know victory is capable here.
Yeah, especially since Goose a little bit aggressive there. And as I said, and I didn't even realize the rank was a little bit aggressive. The thing is, I didn't even realize Star over on the cast with Engineer on Farah. So Engineer deciding to go with the Farah with no pocket. However, now here's what we've seen time and time again. Cherubs taking advantage of the space, getting this pick. Side barrier from the top row, waffles. And now the damage starts to come in.
Oh,
2
and
meters,
there we go.
1 meter.
Point one.
OS uses pressure, trying to keep everyone back middle with the bongos. Gonna get taken out. Danny and Waffles really trying to get damage done, but Engineer gonna take out Danny. OS is coming in from Lily this time. And now it's just a huge trap on the fight. Luna gonna get taken out. There goes down one heal. Good.
Oh, he was on right on point. That's gonna be dangerous. Oh my goodness!
No!
What
way.
a clutch way to finish it.
The breaking of the bubble into the 4K winning self-destruct.
Play of the game.
Goose.
That's got to be play of the game. That has to be play of the game. There's no other way.
Who cares if you don't do that? That's just play of everything.
That's just absolutely disgusting.
Beams Luna with missiles, walks up, drops it slowly. Shield goes bye-bye, and so does the rest of Surge. With 10 self-destruct
10
kills.
self-destruct kills.
I have never seen a self-destruct card until this day. That is unbelievable. Look, and as well, pressure with 5 immortality prevented deaths there overall, which is a really, really good stat considering. But oh my word, what some would say, what an explosive way to end this set.
Yeah, I mean, corny but accurate. Like, oh my. So that, if you guys are watching, that's gonna do it. Charlie Cherub takes the map, the match, and the game. 3-0 sweep for Charlie's Cherubs. They take the first 3 maps. They're gonna take the victory, improving their record to 4-2. Surge, unfortunately, another L on the record. They're gonna fall to 0-6. Before we do end it off, we do have some MVP awards to hand out. So I'll bring to my co-host first. Either team, who do you want to highlight first?
Well, I think, honestly, as I said, for a first game, it was absolutely amazing. I think both teams did extremely well, considering both teams, that last map really went down to the wire. The first hold from Surge and Cherubs really sweeping over first 2 games. I think for me personally, I would love to highlight Pressure, because obviously support players do not really get much recognition when it comes to games like this. It's mostly focused on the tanks and the DPS because of their large plays, the highlights that are created from them. I would definitely say though that Pressure is one of the heroes of today. Even though Surge did get 3-0'd, Pressure definitely maintained a lot of pressure, and unironic but very true, that Cherubs were putting down. They were just able to absorb that and put it right back into the team. They were able to prevent so many deaths with immortality, and Window did prove pretty well most times when it came to team pushes. As well as that though, I would definitely say Engineer, by far, I would say definitely MVP for me on that side. However, you've obviously got Charlie's Cherubs. I think, without a doubt, I would say middle is my probably top candidate. We'll ignore the graph that hit no one, and we'll skip over that. But honestly, middle was really well performing, I think. Along with Goose, everyone did fantastic on Cherubs. I think you could barely fault anyone there. But I would definitely say that, for me, either Danny or middle, because Danny's damage and middle's finishers and just pressure in general was really important to how they steamrolled kind of through some objectives, getting pick after pick, and just also staggering each fight. So, but GG's both teams. Honestly, it was a very good game to watch.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you really kind of said it all. I guess I'll try to pick up the people you didn't mention. You know, for Charlie Cherubs, we talked about it in game, in stream, but you can't ignore the tank play by Goose in middle. Absolutely a masterclass on what tank should be doing in terms of all roles. You know, we saw the final play of the game, which clutched the win. But even before that, whether it was Diva,
it was
Diva Zarya.
Yeah, it was basically.
It didn't matter who they played. It was It was a great combination, just taking up space, not allowing any pressure, and really just being terrorizing in the back lines. You know, and then for Surge, again, unfortunately another loss. But if you're gonna lose, that's how you go out, fighting till the end. You know, you made them work for that win. It wasn't easy. You know, you highlighted pressure. Let's highlight Credits a little bit as well also. Obviously, switching roles, it seemed to turn out better for them. They played well enough to get a victory in that last map. I think if they're playing anybody but Charlie's Cherubs, they're winning that map, and we're seeing map 4. So hopefully they can take that battle and build off of that momentum going into the rest of the season. But, you know, definitely not a loss to hang your head over. It was very tough battled, very well executed. It may not have ended in the result you wanted it to, but you can definitely grow and build off of that.
Yeah, I would definitely say my final thoughts there is that I think, considering that this is the 6th place team against the 2nd place team on alternate pings, it is definitely very hard. And I know, because I've played in multiple scrims where the ping has truly been so annoying to deal with, that both teams being able to fluctuate between those different regions, different playstyles. They overall played so many characters and made every composition work in their own way. And overall, Cherubs definitely the stronger team, but both teams really played well. So I think I shall. Who are we going for MVP wise? Because I don't actually know how it works. Do we give one in general, or do we give one per team?
We give one per team. You can highlight 2 per team if you want.
Yeah, I would definitely say, in my eyes, that Engineer definitely proved brilliant overall. Although I think for me, I would have to go for probably Engineer and Pressure for Surge, and then 100%. Extreme credit goes out to Goose and Sark, because the Sim playstyle was amazing to watch, because not many teams run Sim that many. And then Goose's Diva, as we saw, a 3k Diva Bomb and a 4k Diva Bomb to win the game in the last map was amazing. But I would have to say Danny and Middle were definitely my 2 choices for Charlie Cherubs. They did extremely well today.
Yeah, you know, really, I gotta agree with you. I think for myself, Charlie Cherub, as I mentioned, Goose and Middle are gonna get MVP for me on that one. Again, all the points you highlighted, just absolute tank play was just absolutely amazing. Again, a masterclass on tanking. And for tier 2 guys, you know, I don't think they're going to be in tier 2 very much longer if they keep playing like that. As for Surge, I agree with you on pressure, and I think as well you got to give it to Credits as well. You know, switching roles in that last map proved to help the advantage. Again, unfortunately didn't result in getting a victory, but I think you could maybe argue if they came out with those roles, we'd be looking at a different match.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you there, considering that switching roles is definitely a hard task to take. So, well done to Credits, and commiserations, obviously, to the Surge, but it was definitely a very entertaining match to watch.
Yep, definitely. So that's going to do it for this stream. I can't thank all of you guys for tuning in. again, like I said before, make sure you follow the page, like the stream, keep updated for more on the way. I don't believe there's any more games coming out tonight, but tomorrow there is 2 games absolutely for sure getting streamed. Be on the lookout for that. This has been the International Overwatch League. It's Season 6, Week 7, Tier number 2. Charlie's Cherub takes a 3-0 victory against Surge. For myself and my co-host, again, thank you guys for tuning in and listening and watching. Stay on tap on the way for more to come, and we will see you now. We're going to sign off until